Robert, how are you doing today? It's good to see you. I'm
You
glad you
too?
glad you came in. So we've been working on you pointing to the right thing that I'm asking you to point to by selecting. We're going to do that today, and we're going to read an article today, and you're going to have to tell me two things that you remembered from the article. Okay. All right, so let's do the article first. And I brought you some choices. Prepare your body for a season of yard work. Your wife told us that you like to do yard work. And I have an article on why we fish. And I have an article on retirement and what we can do to be when we're retired. So, what if you want to point or tell me what you would like to work on today? Fishing. Yes. When I printed that, I thought about you today. I have a copy for me and a copy for you. I also we're going to use this page to kind of go line by line. And I have a highlighter. I'm going to read to you, but I want you to listen really close and follow along. If there's something that is really interesting that you want to help yourself remember, I want you to highlight it, okay? Okay. Do you think you can make the paper move with each line?
I might be able to.
Okay. Why We Fish by Kyle Baumgardner. What makes you get up before dark to hit the lake? Why won't you get up to work out or do things around the house when you'll hit the lake at 6 sharp? Good job. Following along. If you're like me, there's no easy answer. Maybe it's the early morning caffeine rush of coffee or the quiet road at 4 a.m. Maybe it's the beautiful sunrise on the water, the pink clouds, and the warm gold sun. For me, a bank fisherman, it's the birds caroling from the trees and the frogs croaking from the bank, the dewy grass waiting to be explored. It might be the love of a favorite combo or the water spraying forth from your reel on each cast. It's an explosive topwater bite or the strong thump on your jig, a constant shifting puzzle of offering wary bass what they want to eat. Robert, what are we reading about?
Reading about going fishing.
Does this make you remember going fishing?
Bobby one likes to fish.
All right. Okay, so let's keep on going. Or maybe you focus on the memories you've made over the years, your bucket mouth of a lifetime, the fishing trip where you forgot the boat plug or stepped on a cottonmouth on the banks of a pond, the hooks impaled in your arm, or the hopeless tangle of a bait cast reel. Those awards you've received in tournaments won, past fishing trips with your friends and family, taking a kid fishing, acquiring a collection of tackle which rivals those of professional bass fishermen. Those memories will last a dozen lifetimes. 2014 was a year of many great adventures for me. There was the time when my friend managed to embed a large hook in my head. I was thankful the hook did not go deep into my scalp, and the time when I sank up to my knee in mud on the bank, and I'll never forget the look of my bait cast reel when my jig hit a bush behind me. One major headache and multiple scissor snips later, the backlash was gone. That exercise ball I hooked and landed is still sitting at the bank of my pond. Did you ever have any accidents while fishing?
one time whenever I was a kid, we went fishing with my grandpa. We were fishing for birds, and I caught his hat off of his head.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Slung it right out into the water.
I bet you your grandpa was mad.
He was a little scared.
The time I attempted to pinch a split shot onto my line with my teeth and managed to get it stuck onto my tongue.
I've done that one too.
And of course, some adventures with a more positive ending. Catching a bass over 3 pounds was crossed off my bucket list. Many lures I'd never caught fish on got to see some action. In particular, I recently discovered the magic of jigs and buzzbaits. I had some amazing times in ponds and lakes fishing across the country, from a large lake to a minimum urban pond. I really enjoyed taking my little sister fishing, seeing her joy over quarter-size bluegill arched her $10 rod into a bow. I had a laugh watching her trying to teach a friend how to cast, or imitating my constant pitching practice. My new bait cast combo is performing flawlessly, and I can't wait to land some giant bass on it. Bobby, is there anything that you wanted to highlight so far?
No, not yet.
Okay. And then there were memories I have yet to make. The trips on my bucket list and the 23-pound bass still lurking out there somewhere. I have yet to catch a fish on the jerk bait, chatter bait, or a frog. I'd love to double my personal best weight to 7 pounds. Catching a limit over 20 pounds would be an awesome experience. I'd really enjoy organizing a bank fishing tournament at my favorite pond. You may be a veteran basser or a newbie like me. It's all the same. The lure of bass fishing will never die. I always want one more cast, one more tackle order, or one more adventure. It's the way I am. Here's to 2015 and the season ahead of us, to the records shattered and tournaments won, to friendly landowners and new ponds, early morning adventures, sunny sunrises, and cold mornings. It's what we do. It's who we are. Kyle Bumgardner is a 13-year-old bank fisherman from North Carolina who loves to share his passion about the outdoors. All right. So did this bring up any memories?
A couple. I used to fish a lot with my grandpa whenever I was a kid.
All right. So what's one thing that we read about today?
A 7-pound fish would be a really, really big fish.
A 7-pound fish? Did we read about a 7-pound fish?
Said he wanted to double his personal best weight to 7 pounds.
All right. Do you know how old our author was? Was he an old man or a boy?
I think he was a boy, but I don't remember.
Did he ever have any accidents?
He got a hook stuck in his arm. I think there was another one with getting something stuck in his head.
Here, why don't you use the highlighter and go back and find what you were talking about?
Here's where he got the hook in his arm. Oh yeah, there you go. I was fishing with a friend.
Look at this. He is a 13-year-old avid.
Oh,
And here, look, here's a picture of him.
yep, it's a pretty good sized fish.
Were you fishing when you were 13?
Mm-hmm. Lost a lot of lures by that point.
And what was he fishing for in this article?
Bass.
What are bass?
They're a type of bird. They fly under the water.
Robert, bass are a type of fish. I think it's a kind of fish that we eat.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever cooked bass?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fry them, fillet them, grill them, bake them.
Okay. Okay. Good job. Well, we went through that pretty fast. So let's read this one too. I'll use that like we just did. So this one is about yard work. Do you like yard work?
My wife says I do, but I don't.
Don't like yard work. Okay, well, let's see what this article's about.
I'd rather go fishing.
You'd rather go fishing than do yard work? Prepare Your Body for a Season of Yard Work by Joe Waller, MPT, Certified SMT, CMT, PT, Orthopedic and Spine Surgery of Wapaka. After months on end, cold weather and indoor activities, Wisconsinites are clamoring for outdoor projects, including gardening and other yard work. So who are we reading about?
That word.
People from Texas?
No.
People from Oklahoma? Or people from Wisconsin?
Wisconsin.
Good. Yeah, good. Highlight that. That's good. But the usually modest price of do-it-yourself projects to beautify your home and garden can turn out to be more costly than you think. It can cost you an arm and a leg, and even a back, shoulder, or knee. Does that mean that,
What projects are they working on?
yeah, are we going to actually have to give up our arm and our leg? You know what that
Hope not.
means? Does that mean we have to give up our arm and our leg, or that it's cost a lot of money?
I'm gonna hope that it's just a cost loss of money.
I see a lot of people during the summer months with injuries from yard work, gardening, and spring cleaning, says Joe Waller, a physical therapist who treats at Orthopedic and Spine Surgery at Wapaka. I see about 50% back strains and leg pain from lifting, bending, and digging activities, and about 50% shoulder strains and aches from reaching activities like raking, washing windows, and painting. Have you ever gotten hurt while doing yard work?
Nope.
No? But according to Waller, these types of aches and pains don't have to go hand in hand with yard work. As with most things in life, preparation is the key. Ideally, it's good to get into a walking routine early in the season before tackling yard work to get your backs, legs, and arms loosened up. But let's be realistic. When the sun comes out, the lawn needs to be mowed. Do you have a riding mower or a push mower, Robert?
I have a push mower that's got a motor on it that pulls me around the yard.
Oh, okay. Well, a push mower can be pretty tough work.
It can. That motor's pretty strong, and if you're not careful, it'll pull you on your face.
Ideally, it's good to get into a walking routine. I just read that. To fit injury preventing techniques into a busy schedule, Waller recommends following easy steps. Ooh, I think we should put a star there. There's some steps. Well, you just did. Good job. Warm up a little with a walk around the block. It shouldn't take too much time away from your work, but a quick walk can get your blood circulating and prepare your muscles for activity. So what can we do to warm up before we start working in the yard? Robert?
Walk around the block.
Walk around the block. Good.
I had to reread it.
Good job. Good job. You want to highlight that where it says walk around the block? Be sure to do some simple, non-bouncing stretches before and after your work. A light stretch before you start will help you get ready to work, while a more thorough stretch after you finished can actually prevent injury. Talk to your doctor or your local physical therapist if you need suggestions for proper stretches. So, what's another way we can prevent injury when we're doing our yard work?
Bounce low.
No, we don't want to bounce. We want to slowly stretch, like reaching for your toes, reaching up high to the sky. You know what I'm talking about when we talk about stretching? Okay. So this article tells us that if we stretch, we're less likely to have an injury. Okay.
Okay.
Be sure to do some simple. I just read that. Once you're ready to tackle the job, proper body mechanics becomes the key issue. Proper body mechanics will save you from injury, explains Waller, but putting the effort into moving correctly generally makes your task a little longer. Try to remember that it's worth it to take the extra time. Here are a few good rules to follow when it comes to working around the house. Bending and lifting. Bend at the knees rather than the waist to lift. Keep the load close to your body. Don't twist at your waist while lifting. Move your feet to face the direction you need to move instead. Okay, we're on the back page now. I know this one's kind of long, but we're halfway done. In other words, your face and your feet should always point in the same direction when lifting and carrying. So we bend at our knees, okay? Try to alternate sides often to give your muscles a rest. When raking, for instance, switch your top hand and the left side of your body to rake. Reaching above your head. Avoid reaching for prolonged periods of time, more than 5 minutes. Try to switch arms or hands and take breaks often. Robert, what are we reading about?
Going fishing?
No. Remember you said you have a push mower? What are we reading about right now?
Doing yard work.
Doing yard work. Okay, good.
I'd rather be fishing.
You'd rather be fishing. Right, you told me that. So right now we're talking about ways to prevent injury. I know this is taking a little bit, so just want to make sure that you're still with me. Okay.
I didn't go anywhere.
You didn't go anywhere. No. Avoid reaching for prolonged periods of time, more than 5 minutes. If possible, use a ladder to bring the activity in front of you rather than forcing yourself to reach. Reaching sideways or forward. As a general rule, bring the activity to you rather than reaching and straining too far away. For example, move the ladder often to avoid strain or injuries or falling. If you're gardening, kneel in the mud to be closer to the plants rather than reaching from the grass or sidewalk. Ultimately, listen to your body. Let the pain be your guide, offers Waller. If it starts to hurt, it's time for a break. What would you do if you were taking a break from your yard work, Robert?
Go fishing.
Well, that's probably not going to be a 15-minute break. Think if you had 15 minutes, you're coming in from outside and you're sweating, what might you do to kind of cool off?
Likes ice cream.
Huh?
Everyone likes ice cream.
Well, ice cream might make you sick to your stomach. I was thinking more like a glass of water or tea. Do you drink tea? So if you're
the ice cream might have less sugar.
Yeah. Actually, ice cream is really sweet, and that's why it would probably make your stomach hurt. Do you like ice cream,
but
Bobby?
So is the tea.
Do you like ice cream?
I do like ice cream.
You seem to be thinking about ice cream right now. Are you hungry?
No.
No.
I just like ice cream.
Maybe when you leave therapy today, you can go get some ice cream.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. And go fishing?
That's up to your wife. You have to talk to her about
So we
that.
won't be going fishing.
Okay, let's finish this. We're almost done.
All right.
My rule of thumb is generally to ice anything but frostbite. He explains heat will feel good while it's on, but can, oh, I think I skipped something, didn't I? I need your piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'll figure it out. Okay, you want to show me where we're at?
We're right there.
Oh, okay. Of course, by then it may be too late. Oh, we're talking about a break. That's what started.
Yep.
We're talking about a break.
We took a break.
We took a break. If you find yourself injured, Waller says, the first step is treating a strain or sprain is to apply ice. My rule of thumb is generally to ice anything but frostbite, he explains. Heat will feel good while it's on, but can cause more pain in the end. Ice will decrease pain, decrease inflammation, and decrease muscle spasms. So this is a physical therapist writing this article, so he's talking about injuries now, okay, because that's what physical therapists do. We're going to skip down to the end. Let's see. In the end, second to the last paragraph, it's all about helping your body help itself. If there's only one thing you learn from all of this, Waller declares, it should be to stretch, stretch, stretch. What do we need to do before we do yard work?
Take a walk.
Stretch, stretch, stretch. Take a walk was one of the things that we can do, and stretch. But he's saying that stretching almost sounds more important because he said it 3 times before and after your activity. All right. So we talked about yard work. Okay, is yard work something you do inside the house or outside the house?
Still on the roof.
No. Okay, so I ask you, let me show you. Is yard work something you do inside the house or outside the house? Show me yard work.
Outside the house.
Outside the house. Good job. Thank you. Let's see. Is stretching getting dressed for the day or touching your toes? Touching your toes. Good job. Good job. All right. Okay, so tell me something. Let's turn to the first of this article. Tell me something that you learned today or point to something you highlighted.
Wapaka is a funny word.
Wapaka. That's where the physical therapist was from. Wapaka is a funny word. Can you tell me something? What was this article about today? I'm going to give you a hint. You can look at the title. The title tells us what it's about.
Getting ready for a season of yard work.
Yard work. Okay, and is yard work vacuuming the floor or mowing the lawn? Here, hold on. Let me show you. Is yard work vacuuming the floor or mowing the lawn?
It'd be kind of funny to do that outside.
Vacuuming?
Yeah.
Vacuuming outside would be funny, but these are kind of similar.
Kind of.
You're pushing something across something. So yes, mowing is when you push the mower across the yard, and vacuuming is when you push the vacuum cleaner across the floor. Good job. Okay, you told me what this article was about, and you told me that Wapaka was a funny word. You think of one more thing that we learned today about yard work that's important? Here, look, I want to give you a hint. See, we highlighted 2 things right here.
Walk around the block in non-bouncing stretches.
Very good. Very good. Okay. So we are all done with reading. You did really good, Robert.
Are you talking to Daddy?
Okay. So we are going to work on identifying some foods that your wife may want to cook you for supper or have for dessert, or you don't like this one? Okay, so let's replace it here. I have a couple more. Okay. Okay. So, Robert, why don't you show me which ones or give me which ones on here are desserts?
That one.
Did you bring your grandson here today? What's your name? He's got giggles. Okay.
Weird.
Do you know what this is?
This is milkshake.
Milkshake.
I like apple pie. We have both of those together,
That'd be a lot of sugar again.
but I'm not willing to hear.
I think you're hungry.
Sunday. Buddy.
Pudding. Good job. Oh, I see another dessert. You don't think that's dessert? Jello. Jello is sweet, so it could be considered a dessert.
Okay.
Okay, good job. Let's put these back on here. Can you put those 3 back on there for me?
Mommy, why are you acting like Daddy's a kid again? That's just weird.
This isn't Daddy, this is Robert.
Probably one.
Okay. Now, Robert, show me some vegetables. Can you put some vegetables over here? Actually, let's see. Let me take some of these desserts off. I have some more things to add. And let's take apple pie off. There we go. Okay. Can you put the vegetables over here for me? Do you like vegetables?
Some of them.
I can't believe you're acting like Daddy's a kid. Ah.
I think you missed a couple. Oh, there you go. Good. Oh. Well, you left tomato.
Not a vegetable.
It's not a vegetable. What is it?
Fruit.
It's a fruit.
Anything,
You have a smart grandson.
anything that has seeds in it is a fruit. Anything that doesn't have seeds in it, it's a vegetable.
Then why isn't a bell pepper a fruit?
It's a good question.
Okay.
That's a fruit. Bell pepper is a fruit.
Okay. So, Bobby, can you tell me, or Robert, can you tell me what this is?
Peace.
Peas. Well, this is just all vegetables. What is this?
White trees.
White trees? No. It is white, though. You got the color right. It's cauliflower.
Cauliflower. Bell pepper.
Bell pepper.
Sweet taters.
Sweet potatoes. Potato.
That's a salad.
Salad. Okay, why don't you point to what vegetables here that you like? You like sweet potatoes? What kind of dressing do you eat on your salad?
It depends. Sometimes I like ranch, and sometimes I like salsa. Depends on the salad.
Do you eat cauliflower?
Mhm.
Okay, I didn't know if you just couldn't remember the word or you weren't familiar with it.
No, I eat it.
Okay. All right, let's put these back on here. Can you do that? Can you put those back on there for me? Okay, we're going to do one last thing and then we're going to be all done. You've done really well. Okay, now I want you to put fruits over here for me. All right, good. There was only 2 on there. And what are they?
Tomatoes and grapes.
Okay, these aren't grapes. These are Probably blackberries. It just says berries, but they look like blackberries to me. Blackberries sound pretty good. Do you like blackberries?
I used to pick them whenever I was a little kid.
Oh, well, very good. Okay, put those back. We're going to be all done. You can take your grandson and y'all can go meet up with your wife, okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, you did really good today. Remember to, at home, when your wife, she might show you something like this, where you can tell her what you want to eat for supper or what you want to do that day. And we'll see how that works. And then we might be able to get you a device where you can communicate with her with a device, okay? All right. Well, it was good to see you today, Robert.
You too.